All right, Annie, how long have you been in business?
Let's see, since 2021.
Okay, awesome. I know you're very passionate about what you do, but do you have a favorite thing that you do?
You know what my favorite thing, just in general in my life, is I love caring for my animals. I love it when, even if it's making grain packets or brushing off the mud or whatever, I simply love that they're in my life and that I have the honor of caring for them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'll let you take it away.
All right, thanks. I'm not doing the visual today. I want to tell you a story. Last week I met a friend at Starbucks to get caught up. Hadn't seen her in a while, and which is great because I love Starbucks. I'm kind of a snob that way. I have 2 drinks that I typically order, so I'm quite proficient in the lingo of how to do that. And so, like any other time, we go in. She orders, steps aside. I approach the counter and I say, "Please may I have a grande iced black tea with 1 pump of mango syrup if you have it and no other sweetener." And the young lady, super delightful on the other side, says to me, "Do you want that with water?" Me. Okay. There was so many things going through my head in that moment. Like, I'm trying to make sense of what she just asked me. What if I say no? Am I gonna get a cup with a tea bag, ice on top, and mango syrup dripping down the side? Like, how do you make a black iced tea without water? Like, what? Okay, so that must not be it. So my mind went to, okay, maybe she's new, right? And maybe she doesn't realize she just asked me a silly question. So in that case, I don't want to embarrass her. I have now started to become super aware of my surroundings. My friend who's not that far away waiting for her order, the 3 people that walked in behind me waiting for me to finish so they could do their order, right? All these people could probably hear this conversation. I want to make sure I'm not embarrassed and she's not embarrassed. So I come back in. Do I want water? Is that a no? Dink, she hit something on the till. Okay, I kid you not, on the back of the till it said, no water. There's a button for this question. So it's a real question. So now I can feel myself getting hot, like, I'm the one that's gonna be embarrassed. I do not know what's going on here. Like, how could I mess up an order of an iced tea? My brain is going really fast. I'm wondering how am I gonna react to this? I'm trying really hard not to embarrass myself. In a split second, my nervous system took completely over, plopped my fear of embarrassment into the driver's seat of my bus of life and took off without me. I'm left frozen and speechless, which is hard to do because I have a lot of words. Okay, how am I gonna handle this, right? Well, now, hold on a minute. What do most people say? What do they want? What do most people want? Oh, most people want water. Awesome, let's do that. And the transaction went through. I got the drink I was expecting and wanted. All right. So it's such a funny little moment that I have laughed about over and over again. My friend and I laughed about. I've told the story over and over again. There's a very important information in that silly little moment, right? As I look at it, I go, whoa, my nervous system had this huge reaction way over the top. It was a benign scenario, right? Like, the 3 people that were behind me, I'm never gonna see them again if I say something silly and I embarrass myself. Or if I do, I'm not gonna recognize them, right? My girlfriend Lisa, heck, I've done way more embarrassing things in front of her and she still loves me, so I wasn't worried about that. So that was the universe giving me a little nudge and saying, hey, you have some unfinished business around fear of embarrassment that unexpectedly can leave you frozen and speechless, right? Now, should you ignore that, later in life, I'm gonna give you another nudge. And it's probably gonna have some consequences. Maybe ones you can handle. But if you ignore that, then I'm gonna give you a full out shove and there will be stakes that are high. I've done enough of my work to become aware of I don't want to have to learn that lesson when I have to clean things up after. So my message to you guys is, okay, well, let me say too that in that moment, like it happened so fast, right? If you've ever been in those moments where I had no idea what that was anchored to. I do now because I immediately called my coach, my personal coach that guides me, and was like, I need help unraveling this. Turns out it was something that happened in 3rd grade, and I really needed to get rid of it, right? But slow down, that's the message. Okay? The take home is, notice those little times in life where you might notice something is telling you, do your work, while you can still laugh about it, right? And that's what I wanted to share today. So thanks for listening. And again, I have the sheets on the table. If you're curious about, or know somebody who's curious about working with me, you can give them the sheet, or it's you yourself. Or even if we just want a one-to-one, please reach out.
We have a little bit of time if anybody has any.
Oh yeah, if
I'll give a quick testimonial. If you haven't gone to one of Annie's classes, it's really beautiful to watch her work. I think she makes it, as she can tell the story, everything's just so relatable and personal to you, but it's really cool to see her. And once the animals get involved, it really is amazing what they're able to accomplish. So
Yeah,
I would highly
thank you.
recommend seeing it yourself in person.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's beautiful.
Amy,
Thanks for coming
Can
that
I give
way.
a testimonial?
Yeah.
Some of you have heard this story before. I've got an amazing 12-year-old daughter, and she's a fantastic kid, but she struggles with a lot of mental health issues. And Annie does not do children,
That's right.
but Annie was fantastic enough to refer us to an equine Gestaltist who does work with children. And my daughter has seen a number of different therapists. This form of therapy was honestly the only thing that's ever worked for her. And the difference I saw in my child when she was doing this was absolutely incredible. And so even though we did not work with Annie, I can speak to the power of equine gestalt and how amazing it is. So if you have anyone in your life who is struggling with mental health issues, and they're between the ages of 25 and 105,
Yeah.
am I right?
That's right.
Send them to Annie. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
I also will give a testimonial that I went to one of Annie's experiential days, and just, even before we actually got out and were working with the animals, like Annie creates just like this really safe environment. And there was this woman that came that did not know anybody else there. Like there were some of us for BNI there. There was another woman that regularly works with Annie, and there was a woman that was there for the very first time that did not know anybody. And we were sitting like having cider and hot cocoa in her living room, and she broke down crying, like dealing with some like substance abuse issues and stuff. And she just like, I mean, before we even went out with the animals, and it was, and then of course getting out with the animals and seeing the animals like kind of go over and just even like be near
Just take care of her.
people that were struggling. So it was it was amazing. Yeah, so
Thank you.
it was great.
Yeah, they bring a whole nother level. You never forget the messages from a 1,000-pound animal. You just don't. Yeah.
Cool.
So-
Thank you, Annie.
All right. Thank you.